Welcome all. I'm Sarah Roeder, Director of Partnership and Member Engagement with AAFMAA, a nonprofit association focused on providing smart, affordable products and services that help protect the military community since 1879. And today we are talking about the new 2025 Healthcare Flexible Spending Account for Active Duty Service Members. I am joined today by Monique Street. She is a certified financial planner and accredited financial counselor with our AFMA Wealth Management and Trust Division. She's a relationship manager there, a military spouse as well, and comes with a wealth of knowledge. And today, Monique is going to break down the new Healthcare Flexible Spending Account for our active duty service members and what that means financially for everyone out there. Monique, thank you so much for being here today.
Hi, Sarah. Thank you so much for having me. Really excited to come and talk about this new opportunity for our families.
Yes, and that's exactly what it is. It's an opportunity. So, can you tell everybody out there what exactly is the new 2025 Healthcare FSA?
Absolutely. So, a healthcare flexible spending account is a tax advantaged account that allows employees to set aside pre tax dollars to pay for eligible medical, dental, and vision expenses. Now, it's not tied to TRICARE or your medical plan in any way. So, you can use this regardless of whether you're someone who has TRICARE Prime or you have TRICARE Select and you have these various out of pocket costs, but it does help to cover those if you are a member of a military family that has things like co-pays, co-insurance, deductibles, etc. I also think it's very important to talk about what this healthcare FSA is not. It's very different from a health savings account in HSA. I know that a lot of us nowadays get our information from social media, and there's a lot of talk about health savings accounts or HSAs because of their investment features. Some people are using those as another source of retirement income to cover medical expenses. This is not one of those programs. You can't have those ongoing accounts that don't expire. Healthcare FSAs, those funds are use it or lose it, and you also can't invest the dollars that are in these accounts. So I just wanted to kind of set that record straight and talk about the differences. And you also don't have to have a high deductible health plan, which is a requirement for an HSA.
So I really appreciate you talking about the difference between that, because you mentioned something important, right? Sometimes people go to social media or their friends to get information, and it's really important to go to a trusted source, somebody who is in industry, somebody such as yourself, somebody like AFMA Wealth Management and Trust, who can help really educate and tell individuals this is what this means. So I really appreciate you breaking down the difference, right, between different types of accounts. Now, you mentioned something that struck my interest earlier. You said taxes, and we are gearing up for tax season. Yes. So tell me more about that. How can this help with, or what is the tax implications with this for our military families?
Absolutely. So flexible spending accounts can help you save money on your taxes because you contribute to these with pre-tax dollars. So that means that these dollars are not subject to the federal income taxes, state taxes, or payroll taxes like Social Security and Medicare taxes. So there are various forms of tax dollars that can be saved by allocating funds towards a flexible spending account.
That's great. Well, everybody loves to hear save, right? That word alone is important. And when we're talking about money, everybody wants to hear save. So I hope everyone out there is hearing, right, kind of the benefit of this FSA. Now, one of the other questions that comes up regarding the healthcare FSA for our military families in particular is, what can you spend this on, right? Where can you spend these dollars? Can you kind of help guide our audience in understanding that?
Yes. And so that's probably one of the more fun pieces of this conversation, right? Is how can we actually spend those dollars in our flexible spending account? So, when we're talking about the healthcare version, I mentioned some of this initially for those families that may have TRICARE Select and you have those co
Mhm.
deductibles, co-insurance. You can use it for things like that. You can also use it for out-of-pocket dental expenses. So whether that's, exams, cleanings, braces, etc. Vision, you can use it for glasses or contact lenses, even for laser eye surgeries. And one of the things that I think my own family has found is that you can use it for some of those everyday over-the-counter type of things. So we're talking sunscreen, band-aids. We had
What?
a toddler who was using those. You can't use it for diapers that I found, but those pull-ups, there's a certain brand I think called Good Nights we've been able to use. When I was expecting, there were so many products for mom and baby and feminine care products. I mean, there are a wealth of different things that you can actually use this for that are really just everyday items that you would be spending money on anyway.
That is amazing. And I hope everybody heard that, right? That you can use this account. So, my takeaway from you explaining this, right, is that I can use this, my pre tax dollars, right? So, I am saving money in that sense with my taxes. And then I'm spending it on things that I already would probably be spending it on anyways. That
Mhm.
feels like a win win for our military families. That's incredible. Um, and I really appreciate you kind of outline what the program is, how our military families can use it to help with savings, and then how to implement it, right? Sometimes when we talk about things like this, it's hard to grasp, well, how do I really use it? And you did a great job mapping out, sunscreen or glasses, right? Or everything in between. So that's wonderful. If somebody is listening today and they're thinking, okay, I need to be a part of that. Monique has told me all the wonderful information. I want to get involved. I want to be a part of this. I want to sign my family up. Where
Mhm.
do they need to go to do that?
That's a great question. So you would go to fsafeds.gov, as you see
Mhm.
here on the screen, and the open enrollment period for active duty service members is set for March 3rd to March 31st. Now, this is a special enrollment period. Normally, a benefit like this, you would enroll for this during open season, but they did not, or they had not rolled the healthcare FSA out. Open season is usually between November and December every year. So again, this is considered a special enrollment period. And according to FSA Feds, when you go onto their website between March 3rd and 31st, you'll see that there is a qualifying life event option. You'll select that. It'll say special enrollment period for members of the uniformed service. You select that, and then they're considering this sort of a qualifying life event for this one-time special enrollment period. But yeah, FSA Feds is where you want to go.
That's wonderful. And like you mentioned, you have the month of March to
Mhm.
kind of get in, to use this benefit, to be able to utilize it for sunscreen. I don't know why that just sticks in my head as I buy so much sunscreen in the
We buy
summertime.
so much. Absolutely. That's why. Yes.
Yeah.
And I also want to mention you can look on the FSA Fed's website
Mhm,
to view those items that are covered
mhm,
through a flexible spending account, or you can go on irs.gov. They also have lists of items. Another website that I like to use, you don't necessarily have to buy the items from here, but it's
mhm,
called fsastore.com. If you're a visual person like myself, it can be really helpful to go on there and see where there's this website. Everything on there is supposedly FSA eligible. You can use FSA cards if you're given a debit card with your account to shop on the
mhm.
site. Or you can do like me, where sometimes I just go and see what's actually eligible. And then I go to my local drugstore and use an FSA card that I've had through my own employment to go and purchase those same items.
Yeah, that's a great recommendation to
Mhm.
kind of prepare a little bit ahead of time or use those various platforms to know that you're getting a product that is eligible. We actually had a question come in
Right.
from Amy that says, once enrolled, will families be able to use the benefit right away?
That is a great question, Amy. I do believe that I saw on the FSA or the FSA Fed's website that there could be a period of 7 to 10 business days that it takes in order to get that family enrolled. I don't know if they're going to distribute debit cards. Most of the time, an FSA, a healthcare FSA, does distribute you a debit card that you can use for expenses. If so, could take some additional time for that to come in the mail. So I wouldn't assume that you go on the website, you sign up, and you can use the funds tomorrow, but it shouldn't take very long before you see those. Another important thing that I forgot to mention, so I really appreciate this question, Amy, is that healthcare FSA funds are a great way to help with your budget because you can save anywhere from $100 to a maximum of $3,300 in 2025 into a healthcare FSA. And even though you won't contribute that entire 3,300 on day one, if you decide to max out this account, that entire balance will be available to you immediately. As soon as that account is open and they make those funds available, if you max that out, whatever that contribution you elected, all of those funds are going to be available. So if you have a significant percentage of your medical costs that you end up paying for at the beginning of the year, you already have that money set aside and you'll be able to access that. And then you just continue making those contributions each pay period throughout the year. So again, it kind of helps with budgeting because you'll make the same contribution every single time, but you have all of the funds available at the beginning of the year to assist you with any medical costs that may come up early.
Wow, that's a really great point. I'm so glad that you brought that up because when we talk about, our military families in particular, that budgeting is something that we have to do, right? And
Absolutely.
and we're moving a lot, and so there can be so many expenses that just come with the life of the military family. And so having access to this pot of money at the beginning of the year to kind of have a bit of a buffer, right, for things you might need to purchase or for those medical costs could be a really great saving tool. So I appreciate you highlighting that and showing another sounds like a really great benefit of contributing to this FSA. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Um,
Welcome.
yeah, so we've got the link back up here. Of course, we will drop that link into the comment section so that everybody can find that. And before we sign off, I want to mention to everybody that Monique is going to be coming back and talking to us on March 5th about the difference, right, between the healthcare flexible spending account and the dependent flexible spending account for our active duty forces. So we've got multiple options here, and on March 5th, Monique is going to explain the difference between the two and the benefits. So I'm really looking forward to that and kind of continuing this conversation. And I really appreciate your time today, Monique, in explaining this great benefit.
You're so welcome. I appreciate having the opportunity to come and talk today. I'm really excited to see that military families have this option available to us. It's just another one of those things that's been a constant benefit out in the civilian or private sector that now active duty employees have at their disposal as well. So it's certainly a win for military families and for those of us military spouses who, as we've left employment, maybe we've had to give up benefits like this. And now we have that extra security through our service members having accessibility to this program. So really appreciate the opportunity to come and talk about it today.
Yeah, thank you so much. Once again, I'm Sarah Roeder, and that will wrap up our AFMA Live for today. As I mentioned earlier, March 5th at 12 o'clock Eastern Time, Monique is going to be back, and she is going to be discussing the difference between the new healthcare flexible spending account, what we talked about today, versus the dependent flexible spending account for our active duty military families. So I hope everybody can join at that time. Of course, feel free to reach out and connect with AFMA. You can look at this QR code right here and you can get onto our financial readiness hub. We will also make sure to drop that in the comments so everyone can click on that financial readiness hub. If you need to get in touch with me, here's all my contact information. You can always find me on LinkedIn. And I thank you all for joining and hope you have a wonderful day. Bye now.